Connor, as you sit there and look at a team that has a ton of cap space, if you were John Schneider, what would you spend it on? Again, feels like it's a team's strong that's top to bottom. Personally, I think, as much as we like Cooper Kupp, and it'll be great to see a full season Rashid Shaheed, I think another receiver would be interesting. All due respect to Jake Bobo. But I'm curious where you feel like you would spend the money. Where can Seattle improve, which is a scary thought to think about?
They definitely have some housekeeping to do internally. So two of their starting corners in Josh Jobe and of course Tariq Woolen are UFAs. So right there, you're not going to bring back both of them. There's a chance they let both of them go and just draft one at the end of the first round because this is a team that knows how to evaluate the position so well. Kobe Bryant, one of their safeties, is a free agent. You brought up Rashid Shaheed, Matthew. I would like to see him back in Seattle and kind of get a full training camp to work with Sam Darnold, but that just further emphasizes the point that they're going to need a number 2 wide receiver, assuming that, Kupp kind of operates more as the number 3. So they'll be able to handle a lot of their in-house business. Another key spot for me is I'd like to see them upgrade the right guard spot. I thought Gray Zabel was a really, really good pick, but now it's about solidifying the other side of the interior. They have 2 really good tackles. They just extended one in Charles Cross, so they got that bit of business done. Sam Darnold is very affordable as far as quarterback contracts go, so you don't have a quarterback contract bleeding your cap space dry. So can you bring back Shaheed? You probably got to go get another corner. And man, if they upgrade at guard, this run game might be even better next year. That's what's just so crazy. And maybe a middle linebacker at some point for their team as well. When you look at how great this defense is, there's just not a lot of holes. But Seattle's a team, they have some key free agents, but I honestly think they can make the roster better with those exact moves. And the fact that they still have their first rounder. There's like 4 or 5 teams that don't even have their first round pick this year because they tried to go all in. Seattle didn't even do that. So they'll have the 32nd overall pick in this draft.
Yeah, obviously a very complete team. To your point, kind of like Anthony Bradford is probably the weak point of the offense for an upgrade at right guard. And then as dominant as the defense is, we saw what the Rams were able to do to them. And I think that was largely because of some weaknesses at outside corner, where Witherspoon is obviously incredible. Eamon Warrior is incredible when he's playing in the slot or wherever they want to deploy him. But between Jobe and Tariq Woolen, who was almost one of the great villains in Seattle sports history based on what happened in the Rams game, they could probably upgrade there. But, I mean, these are things around the margins. Like, we forget that, or maybe we don't forget, this team went 14-3. They were just 4.5, inching towards 5-point favorites to win the Super Bowl, and they won by 16 points, and the 16 points probably flattered the Patriots as a final margin. So, yes, this is a dominant team. The issue for them is that they play in the same division as Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, so it's just always going to be tough getting back here. But, I mean, they enter next season the Super Bowl favorite, and they're incredibly complete.
Let's go. Matthew, you had a lot for the Kenneth Walker drop heard around the world. I feel like you did have a lot of hits in this game. I know you were on Cooper Kupp over receiving, over 32.5. The New England side, you mentioned the 3-play. You hit on both the May rushing yards, 25-plus alt line, Jason Myers at 2+ field goals. And then,
my third leg was Hunter Henry, 40 receiving yards. That didn't cash. I mean, he has 31, but then he leaves the game with a bit of injury. Cooper gets 10 yards. Like,
that's tough. He got smashed on the 2-point conversion, and that probably cost him because, like you said, the throw went to Hooper at the start of the next drive. And then you guys kind of had a little bit of a mashup here. Matthew going with Mac Hollins over 26.5 yards. Jay, I believe this was a pickup line for you a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we talked as well about Mac Hollins being the leading receiver in the game at 17-1 on Radio Row, which has somehow hit in the end. It wasn't a high bar to clear. I think second in the game was Cooper Kupp at 61, but Mac Hollins going for 78 yards and a touchdown. He leads all receivers in the game. And he goes well over that line, ended up closing around 24.5. Which I never really understood because he was one of Drake May's favorite weapons across the board for the Patriots. Like, disappointing game for Stephon Diggs, disappointing game for Hunter Henry, who the Seahawks were, I believe they gave up the 5th or the 6th most receptions to tight ends this year, and Hunter Henry wasn't able to do a great deal. Back to the Seattle side. I mean, it's a disappointing game for JSN. Who cares? Like, they won the Super Bowl. He had an incredible season. I don't think he'll really care, and the win is much more important. But the thing is, JSN is that he was so close to, what, a 90-yard touchdown on the second drive?
Would he have won MVP if Darnold hits that throw?
I think so.
I think so, too.
Because, I mean, you're just getting an 90-yard head start.
And a memorable moment in a game that offensively didn't have a ton of them.
Yeah. So, inches away there. To be fair, there's a lot of slander about Darnold after that throw. Like, that throw, that developed very late. I'm not sure you could even see where JSN was exactly in the depth when he let that ball go. But, it would have been nice for JSN if that had been just a half yard or so closer to him. Because, he was off to the races. That was going to be a bomb touchdown.
Yeah, 86. I think it would have been like 86 yards.
Yeah.
Would have been that touchdown.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.